Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Are we live? Hello, YouTube. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. Hello, TikTok. Welcome, welcome, and welcome. I'm yours truly, divalyri, with UNARepublic and UNARepublic. What's going on, everybody? Demos, welcome. Nanya, block work, welcome. All right, so what we're talking about today, we are getting into whose estate is it anyway? Whose estate is it anyway? All right, so I have this argument all the time with people who come up and they want to say, well, the estate don't belong to us. It ain't yours. You can't claim it. You can't do nothing with it. All right, let me go through this again. And I've gone through it 100 times. I need to just go on and make a song about it because we need to be clear about what's going on with the estate. Now, for those of y'all who might not be aware or understand what I'm even talking about when I say the estate, I'm talking about your birth certificate. I'm talking about the account that belongs to you. I'm talking about why you end up paying or giving people rather your social security number every time there's something you want to do. Light bill, water bill, gas bill, phone bill, car, house, school, anything where you're putting out your social security number. Why are they constantly asking for your social security number? Because that is an estate. Now, let's get back to this because I have a lot of people who will say, well, it don't belong to us. It belongs to the state. Now, these are the things I need to bring up so that you are clear. Everything is dealing with contract. Everything is dealing with a contract. Remember that and know that everything deals with a contract. And so in recognizing and understanding that, there's someone who has to start the contract. It has to be started by a living flesh being. Thank you, Black Sean. Meet your straw man. Has to be started by a living flesh being. Fair rare. Black Sean, thank you for following the host. And by the way, y'all like and share and please subscribe if you're on YouTube, okay? Become a friend if you're on TikTok. So what happens is that every time there's a contract, somebody has to sign. Whoever signs is the creator. Y'all get this? I know I'm talking to the choir. I'm preaching to the choir. Y'all sing along with me. Sing it with me. Whoever signs the contract is the creator. Sing it. Whoever signs the contract is the creator, and the creator can always rescind the contract. The creator always has the power over the contract, all right? So remember that. Whoever signs the contract is the creator of the contract. So now that we're understanding that, your mama is the creator. Your mama is the creator. Now, with that being said, also, your mother signed over beneficiary to you. You are the one who are supposed to benefit from this estate that has been created because of your mother's signature. All right. So now let's also understand that when your mother signed whatever document she signed, she consented for the state to create a corporation that is all capital letter in the name that your mother gave you. Now, let's understand this game. Your mother is the one who gave you the name. That is your mother's creative property. Anything that creative property is used to create, it belongs to your mother. Again, she turned the estate over to you as beneficiary. So now we understand that your mother signed it. Your mother creative property that's creating the all capital letter name. You are the beneficiary. Now, let's get to the state, because the U.S. corporation, let's understand who they are, because everybody wants to say they own it or whomever.gov owns it. But let's understand something. That U.S. corporation, the state of Texas, state of Tennessee, state of Georgia, they are all dead entities. They cannot own anything of value. Nothing. Is your estate valuable? Well, your mama put a signature on it. Your mama created money. You better believe it's valuable. But whose name is on it? Your all capital letter name, which you are the beneficiary, and your mother is the signature, the one who signed on it. It can't belong to anybody but you or your mother. But Diva, I was looking at my Social Security card, and my Social Security card said that it belongs to them. So then it belonged to them. Okay. Well, if I tell you when I put $1 million in your hand that it doesn't belong to you, even though it's got your name on it, and you send $1 million back to me, then I'm going to keep it. And I'm going to claim it. So you got to understand that's the game, to make you think and believe the same way they make you think and believe you the all capital letter name. And let me get back to this, because when we're talking about the corporation, it is a corpse, meaning a dead entity. They make you believe you a dead entity and you keep answering to it. So when you keep answering to it, is that the truth? Well, you made it the truth because you said, okay. But when you recognize who you are and that you're not a dead corpse, then the game switches. The same way when you recognize that this instrument, which, let me make y'all clear on this, all right? If it's got your all capital letter name on it, it's your property. That includes your driver's license, and that is a financial instrument. Your driver's license, your passport, it is a financial instrument, and it has value. It belongs to you. Your Social Security card, any other card you get, any ID card, it has your all capital letter name on it. That's your corporation. It only can belong to you. What has happened is, again, you have been made to believe that you don't own anything. Well, as long as you believe that, then that is the truth. But anybody with intelligence, Evangela, hello, my wonderful, wonderful student. You are my top viewer. Yes, you are. All right. So anytime you have any kind of instrument and it has your all capital letter name on it, this also includes your tag. This also includes anything dealing with your car. If it's got your all capital letter name on it, it belongs to you. So the problem is we don't ever claim it. We're going to start claiming what your mama gave ya. Claim what your mama gave ya. Okay, that's what we're going to start doing. Because once we start recognizing who we are and what belongs to us, we can start taking control of it and using it to uplift ourselves. Now, I want to get on this other thing that I have people, see, let me say this, because this whole game deals with your whole mental attitude. And if your mental attitude is negative and it's all, well, we don't own nothing and they own us and we just chattel property. Okay, then that's what you are. The problem is you. I had somebody going off on, oh, we just chattel property. You don't own nothing. You calling yourself chattel property? You chattel property. But when you know the truth is that they never enslaved you. You were never enslaved. When they say, oh, they sold us on the stock market. How they selling you on the stock market? What they doing is selling a corporation that your mother consented to be created on the stock market. That's what they're selling on the stock market, not you. So first of all, you want to separate yourself from the corp or dead entity. That's not you. They are selling your corporation on the stock market. They're trading it. Okay. See, now this is where your mindset change comes into play. Pay attention. Because this is the difference between these people over here bitching and moaning and these people over here lifting themselves up and going where they want to, living where they want to, operating how they want to. That's the difference. The mindset. Here's the difference. When Your mother signed the birth certificate. She didn't know about investments and how to get the funds from the federal government. All right. I'm going to tell you, VI, thank you for the question. She didn't know about that. But somebody else knew to take that birth certificate and create funds off of it by selling it to the federal government. See, this is why it's important to know the difference between these different governments that are in this land operating. There is the county, which is a very high government, especially if you're sovereign. There's the federal, which is a high government in the public side. And then there's the state. There's also the city, but I won't talk about that right now. But there's the state that's controlling your assets. And when I say states, I'm talking about the United States Corporation that is controlling your assets. There's the federal government. The federal government is who these people are borrowing money from. Now, let's understand how this game works. When your mother signs that birth certificate, they take that birth certificate and they create an all capital letter corporation. By law, they can't just take the money and use it how they want to. By law, they can't do that. So they have to create an estate. Well, who's the estate belong to? Your mother made you the beneficiary. The problem is you never claimed it. So they are the trustee. What happened is when your mother signed birth certificate, they became the trustee. You the beneficiary. Your mama is the creator. And now they're playing you, telling you you got to pay these bills when the truth is everything is supposed to be paid from that estate. All right. So what happens is that these people are over here playing this game like you are the dead corporation, but they have this estate. Okay. And the birth certificate is claiming your ownership of that estate. Your Social Security card is claiming your ownership of that estate. Those two documents there claim your title to those estates. All right. So now what happens is they are acting as the trustee. And by law, they cannot just take the funds from it and do what they want to. No, what they do is they control somebody who's ignorant and don't know their estate is theirs in the first place. And as they're controlling you, they're using your estate to buy and pay for different things. So every time you open up a bank account, you get a credit card, a debit card. It doesn't matter, your car loan. You just go and apply for a car and don't get it. They still tapping your estate. All right. So what happens here is that there's an estate there. And there are other people who are manipulating it because you haven't learned how to manipulate it for yourself. Okay. All right. So we just need to get this understanding of what's going on. Because if you want to continue believing they're trading you, then the problem is you. They're trading your estate. So let's get back to this. Your mother didn't know that, yeah, they created an account. And that account has a certain amount of funds in it. So what has happened is those funds have been accumulating interest over your lifespan. Now, instead of bitching and moaning over here, recognize you got this account and it's been accumulating interest over your lifespan. Well, wait a minute. Let me go ahead and take over this estate. Let me go ahead and understand what's going on with this estate so I can take it over and then move myself up to where I want to be. Stop. Oh, we just chattel property. You chattel property. Stay in that mind state. And you're going to stay over here bitching and moaning. I got some questions. Let me answer. I had a question up here. So how do we become separate from the dead corporate? All right. Thank you for that question, VI. First of all, one of the things that we recognize, and I need to say this in this game, is that this is like a spiritual journey. It's not like, it is a spiritual journey when you come in, start doing, becoming sovereign. It's a spiritual journey. So one of the things you recognize, and I got to go back to the Bible. Don't y'all start rolling your eyes in the back of your head. Just pay attention. One of the things you recognize is that when they go to another status, even in the Bible, their name changes. All right, just like Abraham went from Abram to Abraham. You got Jacob, who went from Jacob to Israel. When your status changes, your name changes, and you separate from that old entity. That's the same thing we do when we're gaining our sovereignty. We are going to separate by, number one, changing the name. You also have to change who you are on a spiritual level as well. You got to change some actions too. But the first physical step is to change your name. So this is why, you'll see a lot of people on Facebook, and they're changing their name to whatever they feel that resonates with them on a spiritual level. Yeah, change your name. Let's first start. Okay. And then the second thing is you got to get your spiritual side right. You got to start recognizing Sunset Beach in the house. You got to start recognizing that you got to change on the inside of here, because, and I'm going to go with this probably tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Saturday, Sunday, because I gotta get on some butts of my students. I gotta get some of them. They need a spanking. And so I will go in this tomorrow, but we got to recognize the spiritual side of this game and how we got to change our actions, our internal thoughts and belief system. So we got a lot of work to do on that. But yeah, this is a spiritual journey. So can I go to the bank and have them my Social Security to pay off my car note? Mind realm. Okay, 71. It takes more than that. And again, if this can't be just about the money. If that's it, then you're not going to make it through this, because there's a whole lot of knowledge that you have to have before you start trying to manipulate that estate. And if you're not willing to have the knowledge, then yeah, just stay chattel. Okay. But when you're wanting to grow and learn what's going on, you have to have the knowledge. And I'm going to speak on this just a little bit, because this goes into what I'm going to speak on in my next session. All right. We have people who are wanting to come into this game and they think it's just all about the money. Let's understand this. You will be challenged. And if you don't know who you are and how to stand, you will sign a contract and you will find yourself in jail. When you hear about all these people in jail or what have you, they're in jail because they don't know who they are. That's why they're in jail. It doesn't have anything to do with, oh, well, they committed a crime and such said it was a felony. And no, they didn't know who they were. Because if they knew who they were, they wouldn't have been in court in the first place. They would have done what they needed to do to answer in court. And even if they ended up in court, they would have known what to do, because every step of the way, if you end up in a court, even before the court starts, there is remedy every step of the way. But if you don't know who you are, if you don't know law, then stop, back off. Don't even try to use your Social Security number for nothing, because you don't know how to stand. And then you're going to find yourself signing a contract and you're going to be in jail. Talking about what Diva told me. That Diva didn't tell you nothing. People who come into my school, they know how to stand. All right. So you get into university first before you start trying to use your Social Security to do anything. You need to know who you are. All right. Feather and Fin. Do you have those funds? I have the funds, Feather. What do you need? Do you have those funds? Judah, awaken. Facts. Thank you, Judah. Monty says, so I won't need to work anymore. Monty, when you know law, you'll know how to manifest whatever you need. All right. When you know law, you're going to learn to manifest whatever you need. All right. Do I have any other questions? Let me see what's going on over here. YouTube, thank you for joining. TikTok, thank you for joining. You know I love you. You know I love you a lot. All right. Let's see who else has it. If you have any questions or comments on this, please let me know. Make sure you all like and share. As a matter of fact, let's take this opportunity. I want everybody, please become a friend what is it? Subscribe on YouTube. And my TikTok people, I want you all become a friend. What is that? Okay, and if y'all have any questions, please put them in the inbox because I'm going to go into it today. Now, let me get on this. The next thing that I want to get on is, I have somebody say, well, I don't care about the money. I don't even care. And that's good if you don't care. I respect that. If you want to walk away from the money, I respect that. But let's understand something. Those who are playing this game, they're going to continue to ravage that estate. All right. It never closes. That estate never closes until you take it over and close it. So you have choices. You can just walk away and forget about the money. But what you have to recognize and understand is that that account will stay open. So even if you wanted to say, hey, I don't want them messing with the account, then you go into learning how to take control of the account, and then you can shut it down. Or you can learn how to take over the account, and then you can use it. Whichever one you want. I help you do all of them, whichever one. And if you choose, I just don't want nothing to do with, that's fine. I respect that. All right. But what we learn to do is to control the estate. Thank you, likewise. And so remember that this is about learning what's going on. Please don't think that all of this is just about money. Abundance says, she asked the question, what's the question you asked, Abundance? Let me scroll back up here and let's see what Abundance is. Abundance, I don't see it. Go ahead and repost the question so I can make sure that I answer it for you. Let's see. I want to thank all of y'all for joining. Farrar, Black Sean, and thank you for the love. Dimas, thank you so much. Let's see who else here. Of course, my girl Evangela is in the house. My student. Let's see. I am the odd. Thank you for joining and thank you for sharing. Harold Miller, thank you for sharing and joining. All right, so I'm trying to find this question that was posted. Let me see. I'm just seeing if I can find it. I don't see your question, Abundance, but let me know what it is so that I can make sure I get it answered. Repost it for me. All right. Now, I want to go into this. Getting on how your mother created the birth certificate, all of this belongs to you. It is about you taking control of it. That's what the trust does. Now, the whole thought is, oh, y'all about the birth certificate game. The birth certificate is just the beginning of how the estate started in the first place. The deal is to take control of that, and you do that through trust. So once again, you got to understand that the birth certificate is a title to the estate. The birth certificate is a title to the estate, the same way the MSO is a title to your car. All right, so this is why you're learning how to take over your estate and control it through the trust. Now, I need to get into this. It's just like we talked about this, by the way, when we're talking about the trust. Those of y'all who were in our seminar called How to Keep Your Job from Taking Taxes from Your Check. Halo, my health hair herbalist. Thank you for the rose. My shop for locks is on here. My shop for locks. Thank you for the rose. Much love. All right. So one of the things you have to recognize, getting back to this before I go on to that next deal. We dealt with this whole getting under trust in the How to Keep Your Job from Taking Taxes from Your Check. Okay. And so if you're interested in being in that or getting that seminar, getting a recorded version of that seminar, send us a message in the inbox. How to keep your job from taking taxes from your check. Thank you, Evangela. And my shop for locks. Another one of my students. my lovely, lovely students. So thank you so much for that, the rose. So now, if you're interested in that session, hit us up in the inbox so that we can get it for you. Now, I want to go into this. This is another thing I talked about. I'm going to have to get on my students this Sunday because this is a big issue. You hear me talk about the highest laws, which is the universal laws, a lot, because a lot of people think that they're going to get into this game and, oh, I'm going to get my paperwork right, and then they can't touch me and they can't do nothing to me. Let me make this clear. If you don't have integrity, stay where you are. You're not ready to become sovereign. If you don't have integrity, stay where you are. You're not ready to become sovereign. If you don't know how to conduct business without fighting someone, without doing harm to someone, if you think it's okay for you to just steal something for any reason, well, they be stealing from us all the time, so we go, and you think that's okay for you to just go and steal, stay where you are. You're not sovereign material. You're going to get into a lot of trouble. All right. So if you think, okay, oh, my documents are in order, they can't touch me, that is not how this works. There is a higher law that you have to deal with. And while on this level down here dealing with the system, or you might just go to jail for a couple of days, get outside of the system and do those things. You could lose your life out here just on that same, that same negative thing that you did. Your impact is going to be greater once you become sovereign. Why? It's because when you know better, you're supposed to do better. It's just like the parent. They're going to punish the one who knew better much worse than the child that didn't know better. The one who knew better is going to really get it. And so that's how it is. When you become sovereign, you're supposed to be master of self. There's a higher level of integrity that you must have when you're operating in this game. And so when we're talking about the higher laws, we're talking about universal laws. Whatever energy you put out must come back. The universe is going to balance. And please understand this. There is nothing that you can get away with. Just because you think nobody saw you, somebody saw you. The universe saw you. And you will be dealt with. The energy will be returned. So please, people think that they can just get out here and they can hand people, do dirty deeds, sell negative drugs to their own people, and do all these other kind of negative things to everybody else, and they get away with it. That's not how this game works. So if you don't have integrity, stay where you are. All right, I want to see if anybody has any questions. I'd love to answer your questions. YouTube, Halo, I love you. Let's see if I have any questions over here in YouTube. And I can never see my questions in YouTube for whatever reason. However, I want to say hello to everybody in YouTube seeing me. Everybody in TikTok land. Let's see here. Jay, Dario Robinson, Halo, Prime Time, 642. Thank you for following the host. By the way, yes, y'all follow, like, and share in YouTube. Y'all make sure you subscribe and like and share. How much is your course? If we're talking about the session, how to keep your job from taking taxes from your wages, that's $50. And you can go to unauniversity.com and then scroll down, how to keep your job from taking taxes from your wages, and click on the button that says enroll now. And we will be glad to send you the link so that you can get that video. Jay Dario Robinson says, hey, miss. Hey, Jay. All right. Who else has any questions for me before I get out of here? By the way, my birthday is coming up, and we are pushing for we are pushing for, what are we pushing for? Sunset Beach. Sunset Beach in the house. Another one of my students. Sunset Beach, what are we pushing for? Let's see. Let's see. Who has a question? 4,000. Are we close? Thank you, Rasta Red. I hope I said that right. Restard. I'm gonna tell you, I'm so hooked on phonics when it comes to this, because everything is in lowercase and is running together. I'm like, what? I can't pronounce it. Todd Miles, thank you for joining. Okay, so I'm trying to see if I have any questions or comments in YouTube, and unfortunately, I cannot see them. But y'all in YouTube, I love you. I'm gonna tell you what. I had some people to go in on me when I went in on that Ed Reed session the other day, but I need y'all to understand something, and I'm gonna go in on this, and then I'm gonna hit it and quit it. Sunset Beach, Sunset Beach. Let me know if there's something else. What you laughing at, Evangela? Let me know if there's something else you want me to say, talk about before I get up out of here. But I went in on the Ed Reed situation. Okay. And the thing is, we haven't done our homework, and it's really not the Ed Reed. It's the Bethune-Cookman situation. And we haven't done our homework. And when you go and do your research, you'll know that more than 90% of the HBCUs, they're run by your so-called Jew. And so there's an issue because they're wanting to get the board removed. And the whole thing about this is, what we're finding is they say, oh, the state didn't send the money, or the federal government didn't send the money. And then we find out they sent the money, but it didn't make it to where it was supposed to go to. We're going to get deeper on that. And we at UNA University, UNA period, Republic and the university side, we look to find a way to help them build. We look to find a way to help them build, because this is a legal situation right now. It's legal. And the thought is, oh, they can't remove the board. And that's not true. The question is, are they really ready to do what is needed to remove that board? And I'm letting you know, I'm going to be there, front and center. Hooked on Phonics, I think you had the viewer's name the first time. Rasta Red. Thank you. Thank you, Evangelist. Rasta Red. So now, if y'all have any questions for me, okay? So today I've gone over, whose estate is it anyway? Whose estate is it? It's yours. It's your mama's. Your mama's the one who signed it. Her signature signed it, started the whole deal. It can't be anybody's estate but yours, who your mother named as the beneficiary, or your mother's. All right. The U.S. corporation is only the trustee. As soon as you get knowledge of self, you can fire the trustee and start dealing with your own estate. All right. Does anybody have any questions on that? Anybody have any questions on the straw man? If you're wanting to become a part of the university, go to unauniversity.com. All right. You're going to be able to leave a message there. Send a message so that we can get you enrolled. I'd love to have you in the university. It's a beautiful, beautiful environment with people who are like-minded. People who really do want to learn. So you got to be willing to learn, because it's not just about, I'm coming here, I'm going to get the money, I'm going to go and get the money, go and get this car, go and get this house. No, it's about, you got to learn who you are. Because if you're not recognizing the power of who you are, you're not able to stand, then trust me, somebody's going to come at you. And then they're going to offer you a contract. Because what's going to happen is you're going to, well, I put that thing through and I tried to get this money. All right. And then they come at you and you don't know how to stand. You don't know what to say. You don't know what to do. If you're quaking in your boots, you're not ready to be sovereign. How do I join? Boris Hall. Go to unauniversity.com, or you can hit us in the check the links in the bio. All right. Or you can just leave a message. I ain't hard to find. I ain't hard to find. Just leave a message in the inbox. And if you can't get it from there, just go to unauniversity.com. unauniversity.com. And then let's get on this. Let's get you into the university so we can help you learn how to take over your trust. All right. So listen, my birthday's coming up, February 1st. February 1st. And we're going to have 4,000 people. All right. 4,000. That is the whole, that is our goal for the February 1st. How close are we? Sunshine, Sunset Beach. All right, Sunset Beach said my sister is February 2nd. All right, Aquarius is Amber. Thank you so much for the love. Sunset Beach, is there anything else you want me to hit on before I get up out of here? Let me know. We are reaching that 4,000 mark. Amber, send me roses. Amber, I'm going to send you dinner. I'm going to send you dinner. Slacker, our university, Slacker's question is, your university teaches how to stand. Yes, Slacker, it teaches you how to stand. It teaches you what to say when you're in the situation. You're going to learn the laws for yourself, because I've had a situation where people have all of this knowledge, okay, and all of the tools that they need to be free, and then they don't stand. Oh, you got to learn how to stand. It's not just about the paperwork. You need to know what to say. Yeah, we're going to teach you how to know what to say. We're going to teach you how to stand. So when you come in, and I can't tell you how many times I've had people have everything in place and refuse to stand. Again, when they come at you with a contract, do you know how to say, no, that's all right, I'm good? You know how to say, no, I'm going to stand on my square. I am who I am. Do you know how to say that? Because I can't tell you how many times I've had people to end up in situations because they sign contracts with their mouth or physically with their hand. And then they got to pay the price for that contract that they signed. Poverty here. I don't know who you are. What you want to talk about? Send me a message and then maybe I'll accept your request to join. Amber says, yes, ma'am. Thank you, Amber. Who else has a question? Thank you for that question, Slacker. Let's see. I ain't signing. Amber says, I ain't signing she. All right, Amber, that's what I'm saying. But I've had people who, they talk that talk, but then when the agent gets in their face like, you got to go to jail. I ain't want to go to jail, people, because, they were going to take me to jail. I could lose my job. Let me tell you something. And I'm going to talk about this in my next session. But let me tell you something. One of the things about me when I first started this path is that I was willing to die for my rights. If you're not willing to die for your rights, then you don't deserve them. All right? And I know that seems harsh and extreme, but here's the thing about it. When you get to that mindset where you're willing to die for your rights, then the funny thing is you don't have to die at all. You don't even have to fight, because everybody else around you is going to recognize that you're going to stand on your rights, and they're going to leave you alone. That's the game. That is the game. When I threaten you and I make you think you're going to die, are you going to stand up? Well, when they know that you're going to still stand up, even in the face of them threatening you, they're going to leave you alone. That's the funny thing about it. So yeah, you got to change your mindset and be willing to stand on your rights at all costs. If you're not, then you're not ready to be sovereign, because you're going to continue to get walked on. All right? It's important to recognize that. This is not about just money and, oh, well, let me, I'm going to sign here, so let me sign my social security number. You better know who you are before you start playing like that. And then here's the other thing. You all have been operating as banks, but you're not showing up like a bank. You're showing up like a debtor. You're showing up like a corporation, a dead entity. But when you show up like the bank that you are, then that's what they're going to treat you like. If you don't know how to show up like a bank, then you're not ready to be sovereign. Stop talking about tapping into, well, let me do with Social Security. You're not ready. Show up like a bank. And then we can talk. Amber, send a message so we can have a consultation with you. Drop a message in the inbox with your number. And the best time to call you, we're going to have a consultation with you. All right? X6JDJK4386. What you want to talk about? Send me a message first, and then we'll talk. Does anybody want to come on who's in the who's messaging me? I'll talk to you. I'll bring you on. Who has a question? I got time today. Mark Sanders, thank you for joining. Is that another one of my students? Amber says, I'm more than ready. I promise I'm more than ready. Let's get it done, Amber. Let's do it. Because I'm letting you know, again, you've got to start recognizing who you are and how to stand first. Because you will be challenged. I can't tell you how many people who I've had that have been challenged and they don't even know how to act. If the FBI or the CIA or the IRS comes knocking at your door tomorrow, is this your document? Is this your document? And you all scared and nervous. I didn't know. I didn't know. I did sign it. My bad. I didn't know. You going to jail. You are going to jail because you don't even know who you are. And see, here's the thing. You didn't even commit a crime. That's the thing. You got to know law. You didn't even commit a crime. The problem is you didn't know what the law was. And they're going to come at you and treat you as though this is a felony. This is what happens. So I go through this with my students. All right. This is what happens. You put this document through, and let's say you do find a way to get some money off of it. All right. You get some money off this document. And then here comes the IRS coming at you. First of all, they're going to send you a notice. They're going to send you a notice and say, hey, we're going to audit you for this money. And then you don't answer. Listen up. Any money you get, especially from your all capital letter Social Security account, it belongs to you. It's got your name on it. It belongs to you. Recognize that. Any money you get, it belongs to you. So now what they're going to come to you and act as though, hey, you committed a crime. They're going to send you the notice first. And then you don't answer the notice. When you don't answer the notice, you have consented that I'm guilty. Because they're sending you a notice for the right to sue you. Listen up. Every time these people send you a notice, it's your light bill, water bill, gas bill, car note, mortgage, they're sending you a notice to sue you for their right to take away your rights. Listen to what I'm saying. You got a right to the funds. You have a right to those funds. But they're going to send you a notice because they want to take away your rights. And when you don't respond to that notice, you have consented for them to have the right to take away your right. All right? You got to recognize this game. Okay. So now, they're going to send you the notice. You don't answer. And they're going to say, okay, you need to show up in court. That's going to be the notice of default. You need to show up in court. At this time, you are in dishonor. So you're going to go into court thinking, oh, I'm going to argue this because, I know I had the right. And then what they're going to say, Miss Jackson, this is a felony here. Did you sign this? And you're going to say, yeah, I signed it. I was okay, this is a felony. And I was like, look, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. All right. Uh Normally this would be 15 years, but we're gonna give you just 5. Okay. And then we're gonna give you the rest when you gotta have parole. All right. So you just sign on this line right here, and we only gonna give you 5 instead of 15. All right. Just sign right here. And you know what you're gonna do? You're gonna sign. You're gonna buckle like a spineless jellyfish because you don't know who you are. Next thing you know, you in jail, and everybody, oh, she in jail. She went to jail because she didn't. No, she went to jail because she didn't know who she was. She signed a contract saying, yeah, I'll go to prison. I'll go to jail. All right. We got to learn how to recognize contracts. Primetime says, so who or what is the true enemy? Thank you, Primetime, for that question. And I want y'all to pay attention. The true enemy is ignorance. That's the true enemy. The true enemy is ignorance. So now I get what you're saying, Primetime. And let's go into what's going on with the system. All right. There's a system that is set in place. There is the state, which is the United States Corporation. When I say states, I'm talking about the corporation because there's other states, but I'm talking about the U.S. corporation that is the fiduciary of your all capital letter corporation. Then there is the federal government. Now, these people on the state side, they have organizations that we think are federal, like FBI, Federal Bureau, that belongs to the state, the U.S. corporation that's owned by Britain. There is a federal government that really is there to give you money. They are responsible for making sure that socially you are taken care of. So this is why we say your car, your house, all your food, all that is already paid for by the federal government. The federal government is not supposed to be taking money from you. So when somebody comes at you talking about they're taking money, they're taking taxes, they're taking this, that's the state. That's who's taking money from you. That's who's taking funds from you, the state, not the federal government. You have to understand who's who. Now, above and beyond that, who is the state? Who are they? And one of the things that I talk about, even when I go back to religion, when you're talking about religion, all religions lead back to Britain. When you're talking about Britain, Britain leads back to the Vatican. When you talk about the Vatican leads back to Israel. They're all tied in. And then when you're talking about Israel, who are you talking about? Well, talking about the Jews. Are they your enemy? In my research of history, when it comes to melanated people, they have not been a friend. When we're talking about HBCUs, those are the ones who are running them. Melanated people might be the face, the president, but the ones who are really behind the scenes manipulating the whole game, and yes, this includes Bethune-Cookman, those are you Jews. I'm just telling it like it is. So I hope I answered your question. I'm not saying that they are your enemy, but they have not been a friend to melanated people. When we go back and look at Tuskegee, and I was going to talk about this in another session, but I'm going to go ahead and get on it now. When we talk about the Tuskegee experiment, who did that? Well, we're talking about the CDC. Who owns the CDC? Who started that? That's a Rothschild thing. That's those families that started the CDC. Well, it was the CDC that was experimenting on the Tuskegee with syphilis, shooting them up and sending them home to their wives, just so we can see. Wonder what happened with them when they get this syphilis in them and then they pass it on to their wives. Wonder how their children react and grow up. We just want to see, and would have kept doing it had it not been for a whistleblower. Okay, now watch this. Now watch this. Because every time I do research and I go back and look at any people, but mainly melanated people, because that's where my research has been. When I go back and do research, here's what I find. Yeah, those light-skinned Jews, they purposely wanted to, how do you say, use the melanated people as a guinea pig. But what I find is that it couldn't have happened without the help of other melanated people who these people trusted. I'm going to say this again. Yeah, those light-skinned people, these Jews, and other people, but mainly Jews, they do things to purposely harm melanated people. However, what I find in my research is that they couldn't have gotten away with it except for there was other melanated people who were leaders that helped them do it, that signed off on giving these people whatever this syphilis is. They signed off on it. Melanated people, these melanated leaders that we believed were supposed to be there to look out for our best interests. If it wasn't for them, these Jews couldn't have gotten away with it. That's the same thing when we're talking about the misappropriation of funds that's going on at these schools. Why is it happening? Why? Because somebody who's in the leadership position is allowing it to happen. Lieutenant says, what's the subject matter? I went into some different things, Lieutenant. You were late. All right, but the subject matter, whose estate is it anyway? You all can find this on YouTube. You'll be able to find this on TikTok. But it's about whose estate is it anyway, because I've had so many people to try to argue with me that the estate doesn't belong to you when I give you all of the reasons why it can't belong to nobody but you. All right, your mama signed the birth certificate. She signed the birth certificate that made her the creator. She gave consent for them to create an all capital letter corporation in the name she gave you, which is her creative property. All right. Then she named you as the beneficiary. Here the owners are right here, you and your mama. Now, this U.S. corporation, they are just a fiduciary. When you gain knowledge of self, then you can take control of it. That's what we're talking about. That's what the subject matter was for today. I hope y'all got it. All right. Thank you, Lieutenant. All right. Tanya. Jobs. What about jobs? What about jobs, Tanya? Okay, so anybody else have any questions before I get out of here? Sunset Beach, what you got? Zingdom, thank you for joining. All right. And thank you for that question about who's the real enemy. Because I can go deep on that, but really the real enemy is our ignorance. Because again, once you become knowledgeable, then they can't take advantage. Once you recognize who they are, then they can't take advantage. So get your knowledge up, because the ignorance is the real enemy. The only way they do these things is because we have no knowledge of what's really going on. And that includes with the estate. When I keep hearing people talking about, oh, it's just chattel property, and oh, you just own it for the birth certificate. We're about learning the true knowledge, because we create money. Everybody, oh, we're going to get on the stock market. We're going to get some, what you call those, cryptocurrency. Okay, that's cool. And I know that cryptocurrency is big. The blockchain itself is huge. It is a government. That's why these people got scared. I won't even go into that today. The blockchain itself is a government. And we're not getting that. I'm going to go into it. I got time today. Let me tell you something. When we talk about the blockchain, all right, the thing about the blockchain is that it is a system where you cannot change what is on this public registry. It is a public registry where when somebody puts something on there, that's it. It's a done deal. It's not coming off. It's not going nowhere. It's not changing. That's what counties are for. Counties are, when you go, and that's why all of these laws, so y'all got to learn these laws. When you go put something on county, the clerk's responsibility is to make sure that it never gets changed for no reason. And if they do, somebody going to federal prison. That is a serious offense. Nobody better not change nothing that's on that public registry that the clerk touches. All right, that's a serious offense. And so this system was created so that people couldn't go back and tamper with what people own. So at the county, we're putting on record what you claim you own. That's your house, your car, your child, and everything else. You're claiming what you own. This is a record of deeds. That's what the county is for. And if somebody changes something in there, oh, they're going to jail. All right. And that's what you got blockchain and all these other different blockchains that are coming into effect. And there's this place now where people can put their things on record and they can't be blocked. Here's another thing y'all need to understand. Public record is very, very powerful. This is why our people who are looking to gain their sovereignty, they go and try to put their documents on public record with the county and they get blocked. Why do they get blocked? Because you create laws. This is one of the things why we want you to come into the university so you can learn how to create laws. They can't create laws. You can. I'm going to say this again. They can't create laws. You can. And so what happens is when you're creating your law stands above what they said down here. You up here creating laws. They down here and they get a code statute ordinance. Your laws stand above theirs. So when you start creating laws, then you really start to get your power. Okay. Now, going back to blockchain. With blockchain, you got this blockchain where you can put your document on public record. Once again, as soon as you put something on public record and it goes unrefuted, it becomes a law. County is public record. You put it on in the newspaper, that's public record. You put it business cards and you pass it out, that's public record. Same thing when you go to blockchain and you put something on record with blockchain, that is a public record. And it does not go away. So this is why it's important to understand, oh, blockchain is here and blockchain is here to stay. And we are eventually going to have a system where you come on UNARepublic and you can put your documents on public record, the blockchain. And it's there, meaning when you claim who you are, you claiming your trust and all of these other documents, it's on record and can't nobody take it off. And you always can reference it. That's how big it is. So while you all just talking about, oh, a Bitcoin and a Ethereum and all that, no, this thing is way bigger than that. That's why they got nervous. Because when you have another government over here running that doesn't need them, where you don't need them to put your documents on record anymore, you got a blockchain to do it and can't nobody block you. Oh, that's huge. That's heavy. That's why it's so big. We're gonna raise our mindset about, oh, it's just some currency. No, it's way bigger than that. And like I said, here at UNARepublic, UNA University, we create currency. Primetime says, what if you married and your spouse don't want nothing to do with this? Primetime, thank you for that question. Thank you for that question because I've had maybe 2 couples that have come through the university and been able as a couple to continue to grow and build together. It's very difficult because a lot of times one will want it and the spouse doesn't want to know. I need you to know, if you know that this is for you, then you need to stick with it, even if you don't get it from me. But you can't force your spouse to want to grow. And so with that, you have to weigh where you're trying to go versus where you are now. If somebody's holding you back, do you allow them to keep holding you back? If you can't find a way to where you can build yourself without allowing your spouse to bring you down, and your spouse is dragging their feet and refusing to go with you, then you got to make a choice. Thank you, Slacker. When am I on next? I'll be on Friday. And I'm going to go ahead and let you know. No, excuse me. Today is Friday. Sunday. I'll be on Sunday. And I'm going to go ahead and let you know, when is my birthday? What day is it on? I know it's February 1st, but let me see if I can see when my birthday is. It is on, okay, Wednesday. Yeah, but I'll be on Sunday. So we got 4 days, 5 days. No, 2 days. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, 4 days. And everybody, please subscribe, share, and like, and love. And everybody on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. Okay. Hey, Aquarius, real dude. I'll be on at 7. No. What time am I coming on? I'm coming on at 2 on Sunday. Okay. And Sunday, what I'm going to speak about is the importance of coming into the university. Why? And it doesn't even matter if it's my university or anybody else's. I'm going to speak on the importance of it, because a lot of people have this paperwork and documentation, and they don't know how to stand. You can have your trust set up. It could be the most powerful trust. I've had people say, oh, well, it didn't work. My trust didn't work. Listen, it's not the trust. It's your knowledge of self. It's your ability to speak. It's your ability to stand. If you can't do that, then there is no remedy for you. Because I've had a lot of people to give up their rights because they were scared. They were afraid. They were cowards. Can't do it. You got to be willing to die for your rights. And once again, when you get to that mindset, it's going to be funny how everything around you changes. You don't get people messing with you. Why? Because they know just by your aura that you are not to be messed with. They know you know who you are, so you don't even have to fight. 2 p.m. Eastern. Thank you, Sunset. All right. Evangelist says the age of Aquarius. That's right. The age of knowing. Wiley says, yeah, Wednesday. That's February 1st. Thank you all for joining. Slacker, when are you on next? Who else has any questions? Because I'm going to get out of here. Sunset Beach, anything else I need to say? Please hit me up and let me know so I can, because I'm going to get out of here now. I'm going once. All right, so I want y'all to remember, Sunday we're on. If you're wanting to join the university, send a message to the inbox. Send a message to the inbox with your phone number and time. Greetings, Brass Monk. Thank you for joining. You are the currency. That's right. You are the currency, because we create our currency. Thank you, Slacker, for your time, and thank you for wanting to be here and learn this information. Hit us up in the inbox so we can give you a free consultation on joining the university. If you're wanting to get that, how to keep your job from taking taxes from your check. That's only $50. Send us a message in the inbox or go to unauniversity.com. All right, scroll down to that link and hit enroll. Once you make your payment, we're going to send a link to you so you can get that session. All right, and you're going to get all the goodies that came along with that session. And trust me, there were a lot of them. What's the end box? Sorry, Tanya, thank you. Sorry about that. The IN box. That's where you can send a message to me. But if you can't get it there, go to UNA University and click on that link to send us a message, okay? UNA University, you can scroll down to one of the sessions and click on the link to send us a message so we can make sure we get back with you and give you a free consultation. Thank you for the question, Tanya. I'm sorry. Sometimes I will, I forget that I'm not the only newbie on here, because I'm a newbie too. I don't know a lot of this stuff that y'all know. My World says, how much is it? The how to keep your job, how to keep your job from taking taxes from your wages. That's only $50. So go to that and go on unauniversity.com and enroll for that, and we're going to send that link to you. If you want a consultation for the university, go and send a message to the inbox so that we can give you a consultation. Leave your phone number in there. You got links in the bio. Check the links in the bio, all kind of links there. All right, so I got to get out of here because I have been fasting. I'm ready to go and eat today. I'm ready to eat today, baby. All right, so I hope y'all, see y'all Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. 2 p.m. Eastern. Be here or be square. I love y'all. I'm out. Diva, YouTube, I love you. TikTok, I love you. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. I love you. All right, I'm out. Peace. Bye-bye.